Hey, what's up guys, it's AndreOth here, bringing you guys another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a UK drill beat. Let's get into it. So yeah, to start off the beat, the first thing we had to do was we had to set the tempo. And if anyone knows about UK drill music, the tempo that most drill songs are in is 150 BPM. So that's what we went with, and that's like the standard BPM for any drill kind of beat. So if you want to make a UK drill beat, I'd recommend going for 150 BPM. That's just a classic BPM for UK drill music. Alright guys, so to start the beat off, I just found this sample. It was like a little piano melody sample that I liked, but I thought it could have sounded a little bit better, so I decided to reverse it, and it ended up sounding a lot better and a lot more grimy and a lot more cold. And that's the kind of melody you want to go for if you want to do like a UK drill beat. You want something cold and something airy, just to really set that kind of vibe. Then after, I just add some isotope vinyl to it. I used the preset 1960, and basically what that does is pretty much just cuts out a lot of the low end, so those low end frequencies don't really interfere with the kicks and the bass and stuff like that. But after that, the melody sounded good. I liked how it sounded, and yeah, the melodies ended up sounding like this. So yeah, then the melodies were pretty much finished at this point. I then decided to move on to the drums, and as usual I always start my drums off with some claps or some snares, but this time I decided to do something different. I decided to use a rim shot sound because I just liked how it sounded, and I thought it just worked really well with the main melody, and it just really set that kind of mood that I was going for with this beat. But yeah, I just played this very simple rim shot pattern that ended up sounding like this. And everything together should sound like this. So yeah, then after that, I then decided to move on to some snares. I wanted to add some snares in there just to add that extra bounce to the drums, as I love to do. But yeah, I just found these really trappy sounding snares. I added some exciter to the snares just so it sounded a little bit more sharp. But yeah, I just played this very simple snare pattern that's very reminiscent of like a UK grime or UK drill kind of pattern that you normally hear with the snares or the claps. But yeah, I just thought it really complemented the rim shots, and it really gave the drums that kind of UK grime, UK drill kind of bounce. But yeah, the snare pattern just ended up sounding like this. And when you head that with everything else, it should sound like this. But then after, when we finished with the snare pattern, I then moved on to the hi-hat pattern, but then I got a little bit lazy with the hi-hat pattern. I decided to go into Splice and find one of these hi-hat kind of pattern loops that I have on my Splice account. So I found this one made by Wonder Girl, I'm pretty sure, and I liked how it sounded. I think it went really well with the rest of the drums in the beat, so I decided to just drag that into Logic, and I decided to use this hi-hat pattern that sounded like this. And when you hear that played with the rest of the beat, everything should sound like this. So after I was finished with the hi-hats, I then decided to round the drums off, to finish the drums off with some kicks. So I went into Splice and I found this kick that I really liked. It was punchy, it was hard hitting, and that's really what you want from a kick, especially when you're doing a UK drill kind of beat. The kick was hard hitting, but I just wanted it to hit a little bit harder, so I decided to equalize it a little bit just to boost those frequencies, just to make it hit a little bit more. So after that, I decided to put in this very simple minimal kind of kick pattern, and that's really what you want when you're doing like a UK kind of drill beat. You don't really want the kicks to be too busy. You kind of want to leave a bit of space in the drums just to have that kind of bounce, that UK drill kind of bounce in your drums. So yeah, my kicks were very minimal but very hard hitting. But yeah, my kicks were very simple but very effective, and it ended up sounding like this. And then when you hear everything played together, the beat should sound like this. So after all the drums were finished, I then decided to move on to the all-important 808s. And as you know, if you listen to UK drill, you know the 808s have to be hitting and you know they have to be booming. So I went into Splice and I found these 808s from One The Girl Splice pack. And if you heard her pack from Splice, you know they have amazing sounds in there, especially the 808s are very, very hard hitting. So I found these 808s that I really liked. I then decided to import those 808s into the EXS24 in Logic just so I can get those bass glides. And those bass glides are super important when it comes to UK drill beats. Almost every UK drill song has those bass glides. So if you want to do a UK drill beat, you need to make sure that your bass glides are on point. I then equalized it just so I can hit a little bit harder than it was hitting. And I decided to add some distortion as well, just so you can hear it a little bit more clearly, especially on those smaller kind of speakers. And then after that, I decided to add this very, very simple but very effective 808 bass line that went really well with the main melody, and that played in sync with the kicks. And the 808 bass line, just ended up sounding like this. And everything together should sound like this. So after that, the beat was pretty much finished, but I decided to add another part of the beat, another section of the beat, which was supposed to be like the verse section. So what I decided to do was I decided to duplicate the main melody, the reverse melody. I decided to duplicate it, put in a different track, and then I decided to add effectrix to it just to make it sound a little bit interesting and a little bit different from the original melody that we came up with. And I also have that vinyl kind of scratch kind of effect to the melody, just to give the beat a little bit more of that bounce. So yeah, I decided to do this to the melody just so the beat didn't get too repetitive, and I just wanted to give the audience something to really listen to. But yeah, the melody just ended up sounding like this. But yeah, with this second section of the song, I decided to not add the 808s. I just wanted it to just be the drums, the kicks, the hi-hats and stuff like that. I didn't want to add the 808s, just so we can let the beat breathe a little bit, and I don't want the bass playing throughout the whole beat. I want it to hit at certain points, just so the beat is not too repetitive. But then after the first 8 bars of that melody, I decided to introduce the original melody, and then I decided to bring back the 808s. The beat should sound like this. But yeah guys, that was pretty much it for this beat. That was every single component there was to this beat, and that was the whole process that went into making this beat. The only thing I had to do after that was structure the beat, and that's exactly what I did. So yeah guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did like the video though, please hit the like button down below and subscribe for more, because I have way more videos like this coming out every single week. And if you guys want to purchase any beats from me, including a beat using this video, you guys can go to andreoth.beatsales.com. and if you guys want, you can follow me on Twitter and you can follow me on Instagram for all latest updates, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.